All right, we are live. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to ASVCollectible once again for another live unboxing and shenanigans. We have a great and awesome panel for you today. We have some special guests, but let's introduce my right-hand man there, Marcos Mora, in the house. He's got some beautiful pieces. He's got that Lufin bust. He's got that whatever bearded one-piece thing, or Blackbeard. I'm just messing. We got Gabe in the house. Gabe's big pillar of the community. Loves a lot of good stuff, especially Mortal Kombat. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We got A+ Collectibles. Aiden as well, a big guy in the community. Not just big in person, but big. You know what I mean. Just big.
Whoa, so fat.
We got our seasoned veteran Roger from So Much 3D in the house. We showed a lot of his work in the past. We'll chat with him a little bit today also about some of the new projects and work he's been doing. So thank you, Roger, for joining in. And our special guest of the evening, VHN. He's been doing a lot of incredible sculpting work, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it on Facebook, Artist Station, everywhere that art is available. I did put those two guys' link in the description, so check it out, Facebook, Artist Station. I also do have a TikTok account I open. I've been putting some stuff in there as well, so if you guys want to click on that TikTok link, give me a like and subscribe to that as well. And if you enjoy the stream today or any other stream that I have, please like and subscribe as well as this YouTube channel. It really does help. Today's live unboxing, obviously, it was in the thumbnail, is Robin Shugo. I mean, it's been a long time. I've been wanting to unbox this thing for a minute, so I'll get right at it. And you fellas, let's go ahead and start the chat, man. What do you guys want to talk about? It's open floor plan. It's open season.
Yeah. So yeah, Gabe, real quick, what is your main thing that you create in this community? I really don't know.
I kind of spread more awareness about Mortal Kombat and how it should all be supported. So like all the time. I grew up watching Mortal Kombat when I was a kid. I loved reenacting the movies in my head and playing with my friends. I still remember seeing the movies for the first time when I was in theaters. Mm-hmm. Nothing will ever top that scene from Sub-Zero and Scorpion entering in Shang Tsung's ship. It was awesome. And I mean, like, I've really noticed like a shortage of like MK stuff in the statue community. Mm-hmm. And I noticed it actually more and more in 2020 when we all had extra time on our hands to kind of sit around and observe. So I was like, well, I mean, what can we do to like promote this more? Like, what's everybody passionate about? Like, why is it not working in the community, or why is it not growing? And I kept investing more and more of my time into that, and really gathering together like different people who had those same ideas. And like, hey, you know, like how can we keep this thing going? Or like, what are characters that like have never been sculpted before? And like, why would they want to see them? Or is there support for them or something like that? And of course, everybody wants the Sub-Zeros and Scorpions of the world. Who doesn't want 15 of those in their house? I mean, I do personally. I only have 14 right now, so I need to up my game.
There we go.
But I mean, it's really about finding people and like bringing together this group and helping it grow and letting other people know that like, hey, like this is what we like. We hope you do too. So, and yeah, it's kind of just gone from there. And then I don't know. I mean, we'll see where it leads the next day. So.
Yeah, I feel your pain, man. Like, because I'm a big Batman fan, and like all these other characters are Batman characters. All we get to see usually is Batman, Catwoman, Joker, Harley. Mm-hmm. And like, man, like I wish we could get like Riddler stuff, Man Bat stuff, like more and more like those characters, Mad Hatter. But we just don't get those, obviously, in this community. Those is Joker, Harley, Catwoman, Batman. So I feel.
Yeah, I always found that's what made Batman great. Like, he had just an amazing cast of villains. Like, it's kind of the same way with Spider-Man. Like, well, why do you like these two people? Their powers aren't that great. And I'm like, they have an amazing set of villains to fight. Yeah. Like, and it's just like, I mean, I have ADHD, so I would get bored if I'm doing the same one over and over again. But, like Spider-Man just has somebody new every day wanting to kill him. So
they have the best.
This is exciting.
Rogues, galleries in their respected Marvel and DC. Spider-Man and Batman, they definitely have the best villains, and I would say Batman has some of the best like heroes with them as well. Like Nightwing, all the Robins, Batgirl, not Batwoman. Batwoman's the worst thing that's ever happened to Batman. But
I won't bring up that topic then. Okay.
Thank God. But yeah, man. And we have a Batman piece tonight, the Shogun piece, the Robin, which is one of my favorite in this whole line. Aiden, you know more about this piece, right? I think you had it.
No, but I was going to ask you guys this, like, out of this whole line, minus Shogun. Shogun's the best one, we know that. Which is y'all's favorite? Because I always felt the Robin had the most contrast and the best color scheme out of all of them. And then the what was the other one? Nightwing was beautiful, and so was the Red Hood. Those are probably my favorite three outside of Shogun. What about you guys?
I think Red Hood's my favorite too.
Same.
But I like the Japanese mask that he has swapped out on it with the long red nose. I just think that's neat. So
Yeah, same.
Mine's Nightwing because I'm biased. He's my favorite character in all like comics. So, and I love bow and arrow characters. So the fact that they gave him a bow and arrow, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get that.
Me and you get along great then. So
yeah, exactly.
I like Nightwing too.
Like the thing is, like I'm gonna get that piece, just not right now. I have like so many pre-orders right now, and I have so many things I need to focus on too. But I will get that piece one day at a good price. So,
what Roger and VHN? What from an artistic standpoint? What is your opinion on this? Not just the piece, but just like dissecting it. What is y'all's input and opinion on this particular piece?
You want to go first, my friend?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, by all means, you're new. You get to go first.
You mean opinion on this, especially on this piece, right? On the Robin. I don't know. It's quite cool, but as you know, I'm more proficient and I like more the museum poses, and this has some dynamics, but it looks cool. It looks cool, but my favorite, as I said before, it's the Red Hood, not the Robin. I think his concept is more interesting and more looks like a vigilante than a hero, and Robin is still a hero.
Yeah, the Red Hood is my favorite one too as well. The color scheme, the level of detail on this line is pretty exceptional. And again, like it's everything they put out kind of has that level of detail, but the fidelity of pieces, the fact that they're always able to make, and specifically with this line, the bases are just as interesting. It feels like the characters, and that's one thing I like as well. Like, it depends on how I feel at the time, but like there's a difference between me liking museum poses and more dynamic action poses. For this specific line, it works. The dynamic poses look cool, but I think the Red Hood. I'm a fan of the Red Hood too. His color scheme is sick. The different swap outs are great. The Batman, the original Batman one is one of the best ones too. I didn't really I don't know if I like the Joker one as much.
I don't either.
But I still respect it for like it's a new spin, it's a different spin. Like all of these are creative in their own right, so I'm just being nitpicky. But yeah, that's kind of my take on my favorite and what I liked about the line.
Yeah, man. So I just want to look at the chat real quick. So Kenny, thanks for joining, man. Battle Cat as well. Juan, thank you for joining. X-Men Exclusives, man. Thanks for joining. Ledge, thanks for joining as well. Kennedy, thanks for joining. John, big name right here, friend of the show. Thanks for joining as well. And another good friend of mine, Alan Kiefer, the legend himself, all joining. So thanks everybody for joining the show. We got a good unboxing and a good, panel right now that knows a lot more about statues than me, especially like making them and doing all that stuff. So it's a very informative panel, I would say. So I can't wait to get to it. But for me, for a museum, I don't like museum. I don't know about you guys. I don't like museum in 1/4 scale. I like it in 1/3 only, or like even like 1/2 scale. But I'm not a big 1/2 scale guy. But for me, 1/4 it has to be kind of dynamic, and that's why I kind of like this whole line is that most of these pieces are dynamic in 1/4. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's just me.
Well, as you guys can see behind me, I'm more of a stickler for museum poses. I might semi-dynamic, I guess you could think Hawkeye and maybe Cyclops from XM. They're a little more semi-dynamic, but for me, museum is the way to go. I think it's also based off of space. I don't have too much space, so I can't have anything too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there is only 2 statues that I would have wanted to if I would have been a collector. It's standing right there. That's Kim Cuesta's She-Hulk and his Red She-Hulk. Yeah, I think those are amazing pieces. Those are the best statues of She-Hulk and Red She-Hulk. I'm a big fan of them.
Nice.
Yeah,
those are pretty sick.
She does some She does some really, really good work, Questa. She's really good at what she does.
Yeah, and the reason why I prefer more the museum pose statues is that they really fit in any interior, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can place it everywhere around and it will look good. What I can say about the dynamic poses, because they always have some story in the base, and the base is really huge sometimes, and it just doesn't fit.
No, I get
Footprint's a big deal. I've passed on pieces that I really, really like just because I didn't fit it. I can't fit it in my collection. Like I prefer pieces that are more, that are taller and less wide. I've had to make a couple of concessions because there's some pieces that I just couldn't pass up. But like I said, a lot of times I got to pass. It's if they're too enormous or too big, and I get it. There are some people that have collections where they can like literally have pedestals set up specifically for huge pieces. Aiden, I'm talking to you. And there's other people that have like these huge setups and stuff that like they can set up a gallery if they want to. So for them, that's perfect. But for me, like I stick to things that are dynamic, but yet have a small footprint. And like I said, I'm not a stickler for too dynamic because I still have pieces you can see here. They're not too crazy dynamic and stuff. But like A poses, I'm always it depends on certain characters. Like there are certain characters I think that like look striking in A poses. And there's some that I associate with being more dynamic, like Spider-Man, right? I like everything I think about Spider-Man. I'm always thinking about these dynamic poses and stuff, right? But you have characters from, I don't know, like I think the Rose Gallery, like let's say a Two-Face or something, right? Seeing him in an A pose like makes sense because that dude's always striking a pose or always looks awesome in a stagnant kind of pose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just that. Again, that's just my opinion.
No, that's
for example, that Hawkeye statue, there are not so many variations of the poses of the archer you can put in to make him look museum-like, right?
Yeah.
So this pose, this part of dynamic that it has, is really good. So I can call this statue a museum pose for the archer, especially.
Yeah.
So yeah, that really depends on character.
Nice, that's nice. Will, how many pieces are in this on this statue?
You got 3 portraits. I think a few swap outs. It's not that much. I'm just trying to figure out where to put this last plant piece in here, but it's kind of dark. I'm just trying to figure out. It looks like it's in here somewhere, but it's very hard to tell where this pegs in. This last little poison ivy piece, which is strange. So yeah, it looks like it just goes like right in there, and I'm not sure how it pegs. It's kind of weird.
Until they add Ra's al Ghul, it's doo-doo. I'm surprised I haven't done a Ra's al Ghul in this.
That is surprising.
I've thought about that.
Yeah, what the hell? I never thought about that until now. That makes 100% sense.
You don't see a lot of Ra's al Ghul, period.
Yeah.
In media, so
yeah.
I've been tempted to do one just for the sake of just saying, like, what the hell? He needs love too.
It's true.
Hey,
with them, like with the water. God, I'm blanking out on the name. Like,
Lazarus Pit.
Yeah, Lazarus Pit. You can do something like that at the base, and him coming out of it, kind of, or him right above it, or like you can do a lot of stuff with that. Yeah. But hey, what's up, Jimmy? Thanks for joining, bro.
Hey, Roger. You know who would be really good to see in statue form? Pitt. Pitt. Pitt would be amazing. Oh,
yeah, God, it's a different line and different comic book, collection. Just, well, you're right. I think you're right. That'd be a good one. There's not a lot of Pitt love out there either.
Now, who's this? Pitt?
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
What the hell?
The Pitt.
Pitt is? Are you serious?
90s. I would say peak like 90s Image Comics.
Oh.
Like you had the Pitt, Savage Dragon, obviously Wildcat, Spawn, all those other lines and stuff like that. But Dave Keown made this character called Pitt, and check it out. Pretty badass looking character.
But you said 90s.
Yeah, we said 90s, Marcos.
You guys need to say 60s, like right when you guys are 18, 17, that range,
Dude, I come into this thing asking for patience, like every time. and it's only for one singular entity, and I won't point fingers, but you know, I make two. Why do you think I gotta make a drink before I come into this thing every single time?
Right here, right with you, brother.
For me, so.
Oh, that's cool.
Some nice detail there. I like it.
Yeah.
The blending of the colors on the arm too is really cool.
Yeah, this is what I like about.
Dude, that red is super. That really pops.
This is like the best color I think in all these statues. In this whole
That's what I was saying. Is the color contrast is so good.
And honestly, how he's like how he's made, he kind of looks like a modern Robin. So you can pass him off as just a normal Robin too. That one certain portrait they have. Not many of the Shugo pieces or samurai pieces you can do that, but this one you could pass it off as normal Damian Wayne.
Yeah. You know, we've talked about this before when critiquing other pieces, and you know, I still stand by, like, you know, you can have a great sculpt, but you can have a deal breaker, or like the make or break can be like how good the color or how good the materials are on it. Like, I love seeing materials on figures that have multiple surface values. So you have areas of high specularity, you have areas that have dull surfaces as well. As I've seen some statues, and it's just they don't pop enough, or there isn't enough of the contrast as far as like shiny surface, metallic surface, or matte surface. And just kind of you lose fidelity of details because of it. But this one, like that red, it has like if you look at the specularity, it's got like a nice orange kind of into it too. It's not just pure red, which is pretty badass.
Hey, Roger, can you speaking of that, I was talking to VHN about this too. Can you guys elaborate as sculptors, very great sculptors? Can you guys elaborate on what all this means to the consumer? Like the terminology, like, you know, the different layers. What does that involve? If you don't mind, what does that involve, and what does that mean as far as on the print stage? You know, like what you were saying.
For me, when dissecting the character and coming up with, like, let's say you look the concept, right? Like from an art direction standpoint, you try to make something. You want to make the most out of every piece you make, right? You want to get everything in possible that'll do the character justice and make the piece stand out more, right? So a lot of times, you know, some sculptors just stop at the sculpt. They just they stop there. But, you know, a lot of us like to take it further, and I always like to respect that and see guys take characters to that next level and stage their characters, whether it be, you know, putting some nice materials and shaders on it. And you can do that in other applications. However, at the same time, though, I think when it comes to printing, to get into the weeds of it, when I'm creating pieces, a lot of times I create separate pieces specifically for certain materials and all that. It just depends on what I'm producing it for. If it's for gaming, or if it's for like to get into Unreal, you know, that's a different kind of process of how I make a character, like how I piece how I stitch pieces together, or how I merge them, because it's a different, like making materials is a completely different thing outside of just making the character. I don't know about you, VHM, but like, you know, I've seen you obviously know what I'm talking about, because I see that you take your work to that same level. You stage your characters too, and put them in, like, you know, even your bases have environments, but like your Ghostwriter specifically, like you did a really excellent job on the clothing, and then the separation on the colors. Like, everybody knows when they get that piece, or when that piece is out there, that it's going to look exactly like that, because you've done a good enough job to show that, like, what a proof of concept truly is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So as you said, it's for real. The game development, designing of character and designing it for printing or for production is a way different. It's a different workflow. And as I don't know if you people know, there are different artists in game dev, right? There are environmental artists, there are character artists, there are props artists, creature artists, and to be continued. And the workflow is really different. And the collectibles artists are like something combined from all of that, because you do the textures, you do the character, you do the portrait, you do the base with some environment, and it's like some, I don't know, combined unique artists that can make all the pieces look good. And the separation on texture is really important, because some artists just make a layer of some texture for clothing, like, I don't know, some material like leather, for example, right? And that's it. So they think that that's enough. But when it gets printed, you can see that there is no levels of details. There is no levels of surface, and it looks flat. And only way it can be fixed is with the proper painting. So painting really talks much, and all that specularity and all that dull materials should be combined properly for that. As for the sculpting and rendering stage, and so for the painting. So yeah, it really depends on the artist, actually. If the artist think that the level details he wanted to show is enough, and he can, I don't know, use just a couple of materials with no volume, and it will look cool on renders, and it will look cool on printing stage, he can leave it like that. But that's a kind of lazy job,
Yeah, you bring up a good point too, specifically when it comes to like high fidelity details. Like we already know that certain printing scales, you're going to lose fidelity. You're not going to be able to capture everything, right? Until you get to the 1/4, 1/3 scale, you're able to like really get in some nice surface noise detail, tertiary details, and a lot of times, from like a practical standpoint, some of the details don't make sense. Like if you're trying to do a 1-to-1 of something, so a lot of times we have to compensate for what we're going to lose in the printing, and sometimes upscale details that we otherwise wouldn't. But because we know for it to really get that out of the print and out of the sculpt, you kind of have to do that. So that's another thing. That's another way you kind of have to train yourself to when making prints or making characters for printing, as opposed to making them for like gaming, cinematic, and all that kind of stuff, right? Like a lot of times, if I'm making something for gaming, I can depend on using certain applications to create textures that create porosity, that create scratches and things like that. But that's a texture. I can't export a texture to a character. That's why, like a lot of times, I got to put all that detail into the sculpt itself, and like I said, that's kind of a different workflow. Like I said, it just depends on what you're trying to do, and like I said, and also some stylized characters. We work on sometimes realistic stuff, sometimes more stylistic shit. So sometimes more stylistic stuff, we don't go into a lot of those details. It's more so about getting the most out of like an expressive character. It's about getting the most out of like comic book proportion style versus realistic proportions.
The another important thing is not to overweight your sculpt with details.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people going just too crazy about it, and they lose the original concept, the original look of character of their clothing, or how they appear, with increasing of all that stitches, tubes, I don't know, separations by materials on their suits, and they lose sometimes that original appearance by overweighting with detailing.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen certain, I'm trying to think, but I won't out any artists like that. But sometimes I see stuff get put out there, and it's like they just discovered the noise brush, or just discovered pores, or something like that, or they just discovered like a brush that
inflate in deformation, right?
Yeah, and it's like there's so much of it,
to inflate,
and it gets really noisy. You kind of just realize you're like, what am I looking at here? And some people will be like, oh my God, it looks amazing. But I don't know, when you know what your work, when you're more proficient with the work, it's easy to kind of see like the flaws in doing that, because it gets overwhelming. And if you're going to do high fidelity details, create some contrast. You can't put all the noise and all the details and stuff close to one another. You want to have to separate pieces where maybe you have an area like you have on here on this there's a grip area, right? If you had that level of detail of grip throughout all the objects and stuff like that, the thing would look like sandpaper after a while. It's just too much noise. But when you break it up, you got to be smart about it and like think about shape language, think about like where you want to draw the eyes, where does it make sense to have details like that or high resolution details.
No, I agree with you guys too, because, you know, I'm a 2D artist. You know, you guys know I've been doing this for 35 years. Roger and in VHN, we talk about this all the time. We know about the piece that I'm going to mention. It's like sometimes you overdo it with the details and noise and materials that you kind of lose the contrast and you lose a little bit of the comic feel, right? Or, you know, what you're looking for. But I agree with everything you guys are saying. You know, sometimes you can push it a little too far. So I think there's a nice balance where I do think you should have textures. I don't like statues that don't have, that looks good. That looks really good. Really good. This is when XM was like, you know, whatever happened to XM, man?
That's another conversation.
What do you guys, you know, like, I'm the kind of guy I like to see people succeed, and I want to see XM come back. What do you think? What do you think about like this line, and what do you think XM's future? Do you think they're gonna make a comeback or what?
I'd love to see them come back. I'd love for them to finish all their orders and everything they have lined up. I would love to see artists work with them again and have more pieces get represented in social media. Like there are a few artists that I specifically follow that, you know, I like seeing the work they did with XM. And, you know, I don't know enough. I don't know. I almost feel weird even having an opinion on it because, like, I don't know enough about the situation. All I know is that things aren't going as well. They're behind on a lot of stuff. And, you know, the logistics of how things are going politically with shipping and all that kind of stuff too. I don't know if that's going to compound the issue more. Like I said, I would absolutely love. I would love to see more representation and more studios putting out awesome stuff. I have some XM pieces myself. Hell, dude, I got an XM piece waiting. So yeah, they better finish their shit. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys have more insight on that, but yeah, that's like I said. I hope they make it.
Yeah, I hope so too. Because every time I unbox a piece, actually I own a good amount of XM, and I got 4 more coming. I personally prefer them out of any other group. They're like my favorite.
Prime one too?
Yeah, over Prime 1. I got Prime 1 up here. I don't have anything really new. Once in a while, our good friend Michael Reyes lets me stop by his spot and we'll do some lives and some look at all, because he's got mostly Prime 1, but he does collect a lot of other things. And they look fantastic, you know, like the Jungle Hunter and all that good stuff. But it's just something about XM that really I gravitate to more. Just wish they'd get their shit together. That's all.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Let's get their shit together.
You know, but
Well,
it's
I can't say anything about XM or any other statue groups because I haven't got any statues.
Well, I mean, it's not anything negative, obviously, right? They do great stuff. It's just their business right now is not doing as good as it used to do. And I honestly prefer their old stuff just because it was hand sculpted and things like that. And I think there was more passion behind it. Nowadays, everything's more printed. So I don't feel like there's as much passion behind it in terms of not to say that there isn't for the digital sculpting, but when you hand sculpt something, it just seems like there's more behind it. More love, for sure. Let me switch these off.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's certain artists that I like. Okay, Martin Canali, like that dude's a badass. He started off traditional sculpting and transitioned over to doing digital sculpting. And I have a couple of his sculpted pieces, and he's put it side by side to pieces that were done, you know, digitally, and you can't tell. And he's just like a traditional artist like that. I've taken clay sculpting before in school, nothing, you know, professional stuff, but there is something gratifying about doing it with your hands and going through the process of baking it and actually like having it right there in front of you. I probably have a couple of ashtrays around here somewhere that I made.
We all made those in high school, ironically. So
yeah, yeah. I'm like, it was an elective, you know. I took it was like, and on top of that, they only offered it on Friday. Like, no one takes classes on Friday, so but I did. I was like, whatever. Hung over and in my pajamas, sitting there sculpting and shit. But yeah,
Gabriel, what do you think about this Robin piece? What's your input? Like,
I enjoy it. I do agree with you guys about how they break up the colors. I like the one reason I was trying to figure out, like, why did they add those roses in the bottom? Like when he was showing up to the camera, like that's kind of like a poison ivy thing. But then, like, I focused on it more, and I was like, oh, it's kind of to break up the bottom a little bit better, so you can focus on that because some of the colors kind of blend together. But you see that one rose, and it kind of like refreshes your eye palette in a way, like you know how you say smell coffee beans to refresh your nose palette, so you can smell all the candles and Yankee Candle, which I've never done before, by the way.
Yeah, sure.
It's a good way to like refocus your eyes, and I really enjoy that. And I'm not actually a big Robin fan. I'm Nightwing all the way, so I think he should have his own series personally. But Zack Snyder didn't come through for us, so now we have to rely on whatever the hell James Gunn's doing.
Let's not talk about Zack Snyder.
oh.
All right, we'll save that for the next podcast.
We'll get to that segment a little bit later on.
All right. 6 drinks in, and then we'll get you loose. So I'm on my second one right now.
It'll take me one drink in, honestly. I can go right now if you want me to. I've done it multiple times.
I was like, don't give him a reason. Like, he'll go right now.
Yeah, and I've never connected the Ronin pieces from XM. I actually have that Cyclops in the background there from XM. I love what they do. They do add on like a lot of different pieces, swap outs, like just random details to throw in there, which is amazing. And then they went and made the Jean Grey, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, not a fan of their Jean Grey.
I don't like it.
The only Jean Grey I like really is a Sideshow. For some reason, there's something so elegant about that.
Man, yeah, nobody's topped that yet. Nobody.
I've got that one up here. Yeah.
The Phoenix piece you're talking about with Sideshow?
97 look.
Yeah.
It just has a good bit of elegance to it.
Yeah.
I got the one on seconds. It's just sitting there.
Oh, you got it on seconds? Yeah. I'm trying to get it on thirds. But
I'm trying to steal it right now. So wherever you guys live, just let me know.
I do. I'm just waiting on. I do have 4, like I mentioned, 4 XM pieces coming in. I'm waiting on Dark Phoenix. I'm very excited to open her and do the live with her. But yeah, I agree with you, Gabe. I do like the touch of Poison Ivy here with the flowers. It does really give you a sense of difference, right? It really does focus your eyes, and it kind of doesn't blend in, right? It doesn't let you blend in with what's going on here. I do like the fact that they kind of tied in all the bases together with all the SHUGOs. I like the Red Hood, but I haven't seen it. I have seen it in person, but I haven't really I just a glance when I went to somebody's home to pick up actually that number 2 ES Deadpool. He had a bunch of stuff for sale on the floor there, and I was looking at some of the stuff, but I wasn't in detail. The only thing that kind of bothered me, except for Batman, are how big the bases are for these quarter scales. I think they're too big. I do like the detail and everything on this bell piece. You got the broken pillars and stuff like that, which is great. I don't know if you guys can see, but underneath the bell, there's a flower. So there's like a little poison ivy flower down here. It's not removable. And you know how they did all the weathered brass all over it, and the hint of the demons and the dents and stuff. So I prefer this base, I think, more than any of the other ones. The Batman one makes sense because it was his bat signal. So it made sense for him to be on top of that. But I feel like the other pieces, they could have used a smaller base. Nightwing's base wasn't too bad. I just feel that it could have been a little more of a space saver. But when you look at it, you see the story, right? There's a story behind it, which is awesome.
I think,
go ahead.
My favorite one from that line, actually, and I don't know why, but it's the Killer Croc one. Like, that one just is all sorts of wild blended into it, like, and all the swap outs he has for it, and it's just fantastic to look at. Say it again.
I said the Captain America Killer Croc with the red, white, and blue around him.
Sure, yeah, I'll take it that way. That's fine. So, I have the beholder.
Loves it, yeah. Yeah,
I just think it was a good design. So,
no, it's a great design. I do like his outfit, and I do love the contrast that they've done with the texturing. There's a lot of smooth areas, textured areas. There's gloss. There's matte. The battle damage on the green armor looks great. I love the cape sculpt. I like how it's flowing, and the way they just do so good of a paint application on these pieces. I'm sure if we had Jeffrey DeVille here, he'd probably be like, touch some stuff up and make it pop a little, with his East Coast accent. Big love to Jeffrey. Shout out to him. And and the swap outs, we saw the swap outs. You had one arm with the batarang, the other arm empty with the claw. I like this look better, and I like him with his hood instead of the exposed face. So I left it like that. So he's got a staff, he's got a sword. It's a badass piece. This is really good. Batgirl was good too. You guys know my problem with her was just the lean. The lean was just too much for my taste. But other than that, I'd probably give this piece like a 9. In my opinion, I really like it a lot. To be honest, it looks really good. But it's not my piece. It is up for sale. I did post it on my page. If you guys haven't joined the page yet, it is for sale. If you guys are interested, hit me up. We'll go Aiden. Is Aiden there? I can't see. He's so dark. No, he left. Okay. So, Gabe, anything else?
That's the Vanisher right there. Look at that.
Yeah. Usually with Aiden, you can only see the beard floating. He's like the rest of them because he's all black. All you see is his beard. But we'll still, Gabe, since you already jumped in earlier on this piece, give me the rest of your opinion. I'm sorry for cutting in. And what would you rate it at?
If I was rating it at, if I collect Batman pieces, which I don't, I'm sorry, I don't, but I would actually keep that one because I kind of enjoy it. I mean, it is a detailed piece. It's an XM piece. It holds up to their brand line. I mean, you don't see them slacking in any area at all. I mean, definitely 8 or 9. It depends on which Robin it is too. So, I mean, do we classify which one it is?
This is Damien.
Who is it?
Damien.
I don't know.
Damien.
Oh, Damien. No, and never mind. It's a 6. So,
Watch off, Damien.
guy. Sorry.
Come on, Damien's my favorite. Out of all Robins, I like Damien.
You don't like Damien?
That guys, he needs a spanking like all the time.
That's why I like
Okay. You're like one of the only people I know that isn't like gaga for Damien, man. Like everybody loves Damien, so that's a
It's
first.
just like the aspect of that he's his actual son. That's the only thing that like connects people with him, honestly. And they trotted him out. Like
Other than he's also kind of a murder machine, so I think that a lot of people latch onto that too.
He's a teenage Wolverine without the beard and beard. So
Oh shit!
But
Usually the beard would come into play, but not yet. Not they haven't done that yet.
But
I just
getting there.
Damien just had like the worst like rollout of all time for a character. Like he like was horribly written at the beginning. Like just
no. DB Madness is right. Look right there. He's the goat.
There it is. There it is. I knew it was only a matter of time. He's got some. I know DB. I know he's got some opinions. Go ahead, let it flow.
People from the
Let it flow.
comments.
He is the goat.
There's 2 Robins. There's Tim Drake, and then there's Dick Grayson.
Dude, Tim Drake doesn't even count, dude. I have zero respect for Tim Drake, man. Like,
Yeah, he's only been on there for like 5 seconds, Marcos. Stop it.
He only 2 Robin. That's it. Straight up.
No.
And
No,
the
you're
OG.
you're starting to. Hey, Marco, you're starting to do this. You were tapering good, and now you're starting to go like this.
Yeah, I told you, dude. Like clickbait Marcos, dude. That's his nickname, dude. Everything that comes out of that dude's mouth is clickbait. Like, don't fall for it.
Clickbait.
I don't think he believes half the shit he says, but he knows he's gonna get some type of stimulus out of it, so he throws it out there. It's all chum to him, dude. It's all chum in the water. You don't do
Roger
it.
knows and Will knows and Ada knows. I'm always right, so it doesn't matter. By the end of the day, I'm just always right. So
The town gesture has spoken.
You know what I say to Marcos every time he says something like that, right?
oh gosh,
Right.
You fucking crazy, man.
You about to play?
Sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
Don't we have any Big Lebowski like shut the fuck up, Donnie's in there anywhere? So like,
You know what? If you send me any, I'll make it. I'll make it and put it on here. So when he does something dumb, like I'm just gonna.
you know what? You're out of your element, Donnie. You're out of your element.
It goes for the whole panel. If someone says something dumb and everybody disagrees, I'm gonna play it. Okay.
Yep.
Hey, I'm just getting picked on like always, man. I'm getting picked on. All right.
I'm enjoying your opinions for the most part. So.
You know we love you, Marcos. But Gabe, you didn't give me the rating. Now that you know it's Damien, so it's a 6 then.
Will be in fairness, it probably still holds up to the XM value of 9. I mean,
Okay.
You don't really see many sculpts less than that, anyways, in person. Now, if you're looking at it from a bad monitor screen that you need to clean or something like that, yeah, you might value it lower. But I've seen a lot of XM pieces, and I've never been really disappointed in any of them. So up until recently, but I haven't seen those in person. So I've only seen screenshots of them. Maybe that Jean Grey does look good. I don't know. So
I mean, she probably does look good. I just don't like the concept behind it, and I'm sure
I hate it. I hate it.
I don't care for it at all. VHN, man, what do you think? What's your opinion based off this? And not only just your opinion based on what you've seen, would there be something you would change in terms of artistically, like if you had control to do something?
While you guys were speaking, I remember the XM pieces I really liked, and those were the Transformers series. There were Starscream and, as I remember, Megatron, maybe. And those pieces was really high detailed, when I watched them. This one, this is totally cool. I don't know about the concept of this Japanese series, if it really existed or it's just a single concept.
It's their thing. It's XM only. Like that's like their idea.
Because I did.
They have the Samurai line and they have the Shugo line. This is the Shugo line, and then there's the Shogun line and the Shugo line. So they have different versions. So the Shugo Batman's on top of the bat signal, and the Shogun Batman he's on the horse. So there's different separate lines. Yeah.
So it's just a single concept made for the XM, right?
Yes.
I think the rumor was that they couldn't get the DC license at the time, so they had to create their own thing with like the characters. That's what I think I heard back in the day. So they just came up with this idea with the samurai Batman characters, from what I remember.
Oh.
Yeah.
I figured they wouldn't be able to use the characters' names at all if they couldn't do
it was weird. I don't know how licensing goes, but that was a rumor I heard. I could be completely wrong. It's not my rumor, but the one time I'm wrong.
You could be what?
I said it's not my rumor though. I'm splitting information. That's not my rumor. I said it's not my rumor. That's why.
I don't know. I'm
gonna rewind that, and it's gonna say you're wrong.
The whole world just heard that right now. You could backpedal all you want, but like in like
on the
5
internet,
minutes, you like eat it yourself, dude. You like built yourself up,
finish my point.
and they kicked you.
That was good one, Roger. I like that one. That was good. VHN, go ahead and continue, man. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, so that's pretty dope piece. I made a Shogun Hulk previously by a concept of one artist, and it really looks interesting when you mix something, when you mash up with some different version. Yeah, that looks new, that looks cool, and there are a lot of details, but I'm not sure that this is for the original Batman fans, It's just for some guys that like especially this statue or this series of statues that those are not for the Batman fans, because it's not the original look. It's it's just a special concept which can, I don't know, make your shelf look better.
Right. It's not. You're saying it's pretty much not nostalgic. Pretty much, it's not.
Yeah.
Grew up with, right? I think the idea behind it is it's good for people that love that style, right? So you got a certain group of collectors that would really love this, especially if they love Japan and they love the samurai kind of thing. So it does put a little twist. We've seen the animated series. They've done plenty of, Batman Samurai animated series. I don't read too much Batman comics, so I'm not sure if they did it in comic form. But yeah,
it's pretty dope. It's a beautiful piece. Beautiful sculpt.
So what would you score this piece then?
Actually, I don't know. Maybe the back of this bell, there is just a single flower under it, as I see.
Yes.
And I think they could have added some more story on the back of the model too.
So you want to see more flowers?
Because it seems like it's incomplete,
right,
comparing to the front side.
True. Sure.
At least there could be some damage, or this bell could be broken from backside, and it will bring much more interesting view.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I agree.
Yeah, that's a matter of display angle, right?
Right. Because most times people won't see the back of it, but I think adding the extra detail and the little Easter eggs would be nice, even though it's on the back. For example, that dark side on throne, you got a little dark side on the back. How many people are going to display the back of it? Unless you got a mirror. But just knowing that it's there and it looks as beautiful as it does, it's just a nice emphasis on the art and the piece itself. So, yeah. Well, Roger, what do you think? Same question, man. Would you change anything? What do you like about it? What's your rating?
I dig the pose. I like the I like that it's got a kinetic vibe. You got wind blowing the cape open and stuff like that. I like the pose a lot. You know, for like I commend XM for going out of their way and going ham on a concept and then doing a full line on this concept. Because that's a big swing, man, to say like, you know, they probably, I don't know how many they started off with initially on their run, but like they went like all in on making all of these Shogun / ninja versions of characters. And I thought creatively they made some really awesome choices for them to adapt. Like what of Japanese culture would fit well with each character? You know, what aspects of it? So there's some like I really commend the idea of taking the character and making it their own. That said, this line isn't for me. Like I would have to like, I don't know, I wouldn't be able to just collect one off of these, right? I'd have to have like a lot of them. Like I said, I think the Red Hoods, there's a couple of them that stand alone. Like this one actually doesn't feel too. This one still feels like it looks like it could be a part of just the regular DC world, just because it doesn't go full in. Like obviously, like Batman's is 100%. The Shogun one is 100% like that version. But I'm gonna give it an 8.5 only because I like the Red Hood one more. And if I'm comparing the whole line as saying like, you know, if there's one that's better than the other one, like I think the Batman one and the Red Hood one are better, and I would give those like probably 9.5. I'm only saying not a 10 one because I'm weird about giving 10s. Like what is a perfect piece, right? So yeah, like I said, I like the originality of it all. And I think it's a solid, strong piece.
Nice.
Little Spidey, huh?
Look at that. He wants a free statue.
Yeah.
Look, DB Madness, I got a free statue for you as long as I get 500 subscribers and you
also, like, I don't know, only because I know your favorite characters are Killer Croc and Sauron from X-Men. That dude sucks. So both those characters suck.
All right. Aiden, what do you think, man? I know you hate everything, but I know you got an opinion for sure. So
Hey, it's not 3D enough, you know.
There are not a lot of details.
Here we go. Fucking VHN. All right. I think I agree with VHN on the back part of the base. I think it could have had a little bit more. You know, like if you're gonna have a dynamic pose, you should have something to relate with that pose on the base, telling a story, right? I'm always about telling a story. But you know, these pieces, guys, I think they were meant to be elegant and works of art. So I feel like when you get the Shogun and Shugo line, they're kind of like pieces that, let's say a person that doesn't like comic book statues or comic books, they would buy these and it would look like super elegant in their home, right? So I feel like that's what they were going for. And as far as what they were aiming for, I got to give this a 9. I love this piece. And I don't like a lot of pieces. Like 90% of the pieces I don't like. This thing is good. Very good. 9.0. I would do what VHN said, add a little bit more to the base, you know, weathering and damage. But this thing is, for what they were trying to do, I think this is fantastic.
Nice. That's a good rating. I mean, you know, I've been doing a lot of these XM pieces, and for the most part, man, our ratings are pretty much in the 9s, man. They got to get their shit together. Marcos, what's up, man?
Not much, man. So for me, since you guys already hit all the points, basically, for me, I'll probably just give it 8.9. It's one of my favorite in the line. What Roger was kind of saying, it's kind of like you can't get one of these. I've seen collections of people that have like almost the whole line of this, and it looks fantastic. You know, like one wall of just all samurai pieces. It looks great. But you kind of have to do that, I feel like. Alan Kiefer and what Aiden just said, like you can, even if you aren't a big fan of the IP of the Batman IP or DC, you can kind of get this like, you know, as a just an art piece, you know, art, artist type piece, like a work of art type piece. That's what I'm trying to say. You can get that as that because he has the Batman on horse one, and it looks fantastic in his house. So Alan's like a perfect example of that, like getting one of the pieces in this line just for like the artwork itself, not because he loves Batman or something like that, you know. So this line is definitely that. Is like all these pieces are very works of art. Like the Poison Ivy, people get that even if they aren't Poison Ivy fans, they just get it because it's a great piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite in the line. I would probably say it's probably top 5 in this whole line for me. If off the top of my head, I'll probably say that top 5. I like it though. 8.9 at I don't know. Like me and Roger said, like you can pass this off as a regular Damian Wayne Robin 1/4 because he's a ninja, like how he grew up. So ninja look kind of already, you know.
Yes, it does make sense. You could get away with it. I mean, maybe if they had a swap out base for something a little more, something less old school. Maybe a building or something like that. Well, I mean, he did grow up in that temple, and that was like thousands years old.
So temple, like ninjas everywhere. So that's why, out of all the pieces, this one really could just be a normal Damian Wayne.
It could be a one-off. I can see that. Yeah, it could be a good one-off. That makes a lot of sense.
I actually thought about getting this piece as like I know he's 1/4, but like next to 1/3, like have him as like because he's a smaller character in general, and he's like 12 years old in the comics. So like next to 1/3 Detective 1000, I was thinking that like maybe he could fit as like a 1/3 Damian. I don't know. I was trying to make that work, but I went with the Prime One Super Sons piece in general. Anyway, so it worked out. But it's a good piece, man. I like it a lot. The out of all the samurai pieces we talked about, the colors pop way more than probably any other pieces. So yeah, good. Sucks Exons, in the spot they're in, but they kind of put themselves, from what I know, put themselves in that spot. But it sucks because like I always say the Exon Deadpool piece I have is one of my favorite pieces I have in my collection. It's a great piece. Don't know how it's still standing, but it is. So yeah, man.
Well, I appreciate you guys on the panel for your opinions and the scoring. Thanks everybody on the chat also for jumping in. If you're watching the stream, you're not on the chat, jump on the chat, ask questions, whatever you guys want to talk about. It's an open panel. We're here to have fun. So let's see what's going on with you guys. VHN, man, I know you do a lot of work. I've seen a lot of your stuff. What are you working on currently? Can you say, or what have you finished that will be showing here pretty soon? Let's know a little bit more about you. I know Aiden's got a lot of questions, also a Q&A for yourself. So yeah, let's hear it, man.
Well, actually, I got a lot of commissions going and will be going further. Currently, I finished the Owlman from
Owlman, yep,
yeah.
I've seen, yep.
It will be revealed soon.
Yep.
And now I'm working on Prowler. That's from Spider-Man and
nice.
Magic.
Oh, Magic! Oh, nice. I can't.
Yeah,
very cool.
I've been waiting for a nice museum quarter scale Magic.
But it's not museum.
Like, goddamn.
Keep on waiting.
Current one is not museum.
Remove him from the stream. This is bullshit.
Yeah, current one is not museum. It's a special order for my pal. So, and I already regret that I took it because it's taken too long, like twice or triple longer than I sculpt the male characters.
Nice, yeah. So do you? I know I've seen a lot of your work. They're mostly male characters. Do you prefer going male than female, or are you open for female characters as well?
I'm open for anything, but that's just a matter of time. I sculpt male characters much faster. For example, this Soulman, which will go for production, I completed in 10 days with all the swaps, with all the stuff, and with rendering. So,
yeah.
And then this female, just the blockout took me around 5 days, maybe.
Just the blockout, yeah.
Yeah, so it takes much longer for me, and I'm more, I don't know, proficient in villains, male characters.
Okay.
Some uncommon secondary ones, That's why I enjoy more than sculpting, like, I don't know, another Spider-Man or something
Yeah.
like that.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It just so it's not being more proficient in villains. It's just more of a preference that you enjoy villains more than your standard hero.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. Okay. Everybody's got.
Like most sculptors too in general, they like doing villains more than heroes. I feel like because
They're more fun and more interesting.
exactly, you can do some more creative stuff. I feel like with villains.
And that makes sense because Roger did a Madeline Pryor instead of Jean Grey, and she's kind of a villain. So it does make a lot of sense that sculptors want, the villains.
Plus, I like working on characters that don't get a lot of love. That I don't see a lot of. Like, I would choose to do a more obscure character than doing like, I don't know, another popular one. At the same time, though, you want to make something that's gonna pop with with the community and stuff, and people are gonna like. So it's like a bit of a balance. This depends on like kind of how I feel about at the time. What's my preference going to be at the time. I do agree though. It will take me longer to do a female more than a male, purely because like it's easy to be more scrutinous trying to capture like aesthetics. You feel like doing the male figure is a little bit more forgiving, whereas the female, it's like, is this right? Is this right? At every single angle, is that right? Is this right? So I get into my own head about it, like, and I end up having to like, really try to refine certain parts of the body, like more so. It's more about kind of capturing like the essence of a character and doing the character justice, So,
Right.
I think that Roger. I think actually you just had a lot of bathroom breaks with a lot of lotion and toilet paper with Madeline Pryor. That's why it took so long.
He's like, this thing's so damn good. I gotta go and come back.
Shaking his head.
Justice. Oh goddamn! I gotta go and come back.
Takes the computer screen in with him.
House can't even hit.
Like the peanut gallery has spoken. Everybody, he's put his 2 cents out there. Pour yourself another drink. Go ahead, do it. Keep going. Just keep going. The answers are at the bottom of that bottle. Just keep going, man.
I'm so funny. I'm hilarious.
Yeah.
That child's something else. Let me tell you.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know.
That's why we keep him around. Like he's here all week.
That's funny.
Yeah, but Stanley's better. Okay,
Hey,
Stanley.
she came out good though. She came out good. Damn it.
I know she did it, but a lot of bathroom breaks. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with it.
He needed inspiration to clear his head.
He's the same guy that didn't even know who she was when we first showed her off. You were like, I don't know, I never heard of this character before.
Never did.
I'm a huge fan of the X-Men, by the way. How can you be a fan of the X-Men and not know who Madeline Pryor is? Like, how does that?
Roger, let me tell you something though. After you showed him, he had several bathroom breaks as well, so he can't talk.
Hey, Roger, right here. The lotion was right there.
Oh God!
Ashy skin, my bad.
What do you got, Gabriel?
Well, I think also going back to VHNs, I've been like Instagram stopping you this whole time and looking at your page because I was like, I haven't heard of this person, but I've seen your work. And one piece that really captured me, and we might need to talk later, is your Ghost Rider. Like, I really love the flames.
Dude, everybody's talking about that Ghost Rider.
And that pose.
And that's what happens when you sculpt the popular character,
Yeah.
No. Even if it wasn't a popular character, like you nailed the aspects of like something that you're trying to portray. Like, he feels evil, which is really cool to do with, I guess, technically a good guy character, but I mean, he's punishing evil people, but he's kind of evil. It's a gray area character, I guess. So he's not a protagonist, but he's not an antagonist.
He's just a better version of Deadpool. That's all it is.
Whoa!
It's not as funny either.
Now we're going a little crazy. Let's stop.
Yeah, but you do a good job of capturing elements as well. Like even with Hydro Man, like that's a character that doesn't get a lot of love, but I mean, like I can look at that and be like, that's water to me, or I'm looking at it and like that's fire. And I mean that's what really separates a good sculpt from a bad one sometimes, is capturing the elements of the piece itself. So great work.
Can we see these pieces? I don't know, VHN, is it okay with you if we show these pieces on?
Yeah, go. Yeah, if you got it, VHN, just put it on the present and share it, and I'll open it here.
I'd love to see.
I don't know how to do this.
Gabe, I guess we could just leave your stuff open, Gabe, and we'll talk about that. VHN, while you look at some of your work, so we can ask more questions, Is there a list of characters that you want to do for yourself that's not a commission or anybody? It's just characters that you would love to sculpt because it's just something you've always wanted?
Oh, there are a lot of them, but currently I just don't have time for this anymore because I'm booked like until the end of the year, and I don't know when I'll get free time to sculpt something for myself. But I would like to try myself doing Juggernaut, doing Mr. Sinister, doing Grifter again, doing some DC characters.
Sorry, I just read the bottom. That
I didn't do.
Goddamn.
Hey,
Dude, and Forge sucks so bad. Will, that's for you.
You
Like, you guys don't know this or not, but like Will has a real deep love for the shittiest X-Men that ever lived.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Forge, like, yeah, fucking, like discount Tony Stark.
discount Tony Stark. Timu Tony Stark.
Timu Tony Stark.
Timu
Like,
Tony
I like
Stark.
how, like, there's just a smart guy out there that's his mutant. That's his whole mutant power. There's just like Tony Stark is just a smart guy, and there has to be a mutant that has that power. It's ridiculous.
Stop hating on my Forge, okay? Someone just did a beautiful sculpt of Forge. Okay, he's awesome. VHN, sorry for interrupting, man. What were the characters you want to do? Yeah.
Well, except those that I mentioned, I think more Invincible characters. It's quite popular, and I love Invincible comics.
Oh yeah.
So I would like to do maybe Battle Beast and
Yes.
Drake also.
Oh yeah, dude.
Please
Dude,
do
if you
that
did a
one.
Battle Beast along with in the same vein as your other characters, dude, that's gonna look
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
It look great.
because I got a lot of requests after I posted the Viltrumites diorama that there could be a Thrag instead of Omni-Man, and it will look cool. So, and I got a commission for Thrag on next month, so I think I'll make him. And yeah, there are a lot of characters that I would have liked to sculpt to work on.
Well, I feel like if you put it out the list you would like, maybe someone will commission those pieces, and then you get to work on it and get paid at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a win-win.
Maybe I'll plan that for next year.
Yeah, sprinkle it out there. You know,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
just-
sure
That's a good
people will
Instagram
respond.
post right there.
You gotta. It's like Joe Dirt said. It's a win-win. You know, bullfrogs and fireworks. You know, you're a vet and you sell fireworks.
Joe
Watching that movie today.
You know what I'm saying? So if you put your list out there, I'm pretty sure someone will be like, you know what, VHN has a point. I would love to sculpt the Forge. I'm just gonna hire him to sculpt the Forge, and then they're just
Dude,
gonna
no one's gonna ask that. You want to stifle your trajectory of how you're doing right now? Then just go ahead and take Will's advice. Do that.
Do it for
You want you know what? I want to stop my following right now. I want people to tune out on my work right now. So let me just see how many people want Forge.
Yeah, and Will, what's next? Batwoman? Like, what are you trying to kill his career right now? Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, it's like he wants a collection of the dumpster tier, like dumpster kitty tier shelf behind him.
Heroes and villains, you know? Like, gosh.
You could, hey DB, we could put a Nihilus up there too. Yeah, again, discount Ultron.
Jar Jar Binks is next too for Star Wars.
Sith version too.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be Sith version. It's gotta be, man. Love that.
Jar Jar would be a killer Sith.
You know what? Any character from Rebel Moon also. Let's just
dude. Man, what a okay. That's another conversation. Those movies suck.
I'm so happy it's canceled. It finally got canceled. Thank the
Lord. So yeah, VHN. Do you have anything you can pop up here? I can open up. On the lower end of the screen says present. Just click the link you want, and it should pop up. And we can see some of your stuff.
Will, maybe he can send it to you, and then you can do it.
Yeah, you can do that too. I think I got my stuff open here, VHN. If you have my messenger, just shoot me over some images, and I'll throw it up. Let's see here.
I really want to see his stuff, and I feel like I've probably seen it. Honestly, I just don't know. I didn't,
Well, you've seen the stuff. You've seen
if I can pop up. Let me see if I can pop up your page here. I think I got.
Actually, most of my works are on the ArtStation. So.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, you know what? I got your page here. We'll go through some of the stuff. Hold on. Let me do it instead. Present. Share screen. And here we
I
go.
just hope not as corny as Roger's work. You know, that's all.
What?
What?
All right, so here's so this is most of your recent stuff here, right, VHN? We could talk about the character and who they are. I really love this piece. This is a very good piece. Can everybody see it?
Who's that?
That's Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Is he like an older version of Luke Cage? I don't remember him having a gray beard.
It's from the Timeless comics.
Ah, I see. Yeah. So, and was this like a commission piece, or was this something that you wanted to do for yourself? I love this piece. I think the texturing, I like the lighting on the gloves, the way you rendered it came out fantastic.
The most of my works from this year are the commissions.
Commission. Okay.
Yeah. The only work I did for myself were the Viltrumites.
The Viltrumites.
And
okay.
the rest are commissions.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll scroll through here. We'll look at the pictures. If you guys want me to stop, let me know. We'll kind of dissect some of these images and stuff. And we'll just keep moving on. There's just the gray render.
Looks like a Greek god, like that's it.
Yeah, it's got that Greek god body, but it's Luke Cage.
It's got the Zeus vibes going.
Yeah,
it does.
It's both a good and bad thing depending on if you're male or female.
WWE, the rock belt too, right there. Like the heavyweight champion right there.
I love the cape flow. I like the way that's flowing. It looks really good.
Well,
so
his concept and the cursor concept were very easy. It's just two colored costumes, and I've had to push something from it, to add some textures, to add some flows, and to modernize it somehow so it could look good.
Dude, Corsair, it looks cool, man.
Good.
That looks
Look at
amazing.
the gun too. The gun looks amazing.
I'm a big.
That's another character out there that doesn't get enough love, man. Good job.
Yeah, looks
The
great.
base I love as well, like integrating parts of his ship into it. That's just awesome.
I like the damage, the way the coloring's on the damage of the ship. That looks really good as well.
Dude, plus your stylization of his proportions and stuff, his comic book proportions, badass.
Yeah.
Well, the baddest thing is that I almost never have the full concept of what I'm doing.
That's
So
what I was gonna ask.
people just tell me their idea and drop some pictures, and then I spend some hours thinking of how to make it real and look good.
So I wanted to ask you that, BHN, because you and I talked quite a bit, and you had told me that. I think it's important for people to know that you're not only the sculptor, but you direct a lot of this stuff, right? You people give you a couple of ideas, and you just kind of come up with these amazing poses and bases and stuff, right?
Yeah, I never get some clear concept like the pose, the colors, the costume, the textures, like make it this way. No, I never get that. People just drop me some ideas, drop me the original look or the look, what they want to see of this character, and I'm starting to combine in that.
That can be challenging, I bet. So, like, if I was going to do that, I would at least like give you a concept art or hire a concept artist and be like, "Hey, draw this up real quick." And I mean, like, cost you maybe $50, just to get an idea on paper, and that way you have a very good direction. You don't have to keep going back and forth with the.
Yeah, that would be much easier with that, but
yeah, that conquest is good right there. I like that.
I do like that. I like the way they float all connected to the back of the beam and stuff. Omni-Man looks good too.
Well, yeah, this was my first attempt on the female character, which is not really good right now, I think.
Let's zoom in on her.
Yeah,
I think she looks great, man.
Yeah,
good job.
that's an older character.
I
too,
evolved
so
a little bit after her, so.
Dude, I've been wanting to do Anissa.
Yeah, Anissa is in my request list too.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's good. I like that base.
That's dope.
Yeah, that base is dope.
I gotta watch Invincible, man, or read it. I heard it's really good.
You haven't seen it yet?
That's really good.
The animation looks so clunky sometimes. Really.
If you haven't seen it, you don't know what you're talking about. Just watch it.
No, Marcos is
Oh my gosh, I'm not blind.
Read the books.
I think you should be reading. I'm a big manga over anime too, so like I probably should just read it.
It's worth a read.
I mean, think about it, Roger. He just said he didn't like the animation of it, but he watches One Piece.
I was gonna say, man, like I don't even want to. I'm not even gonna go down that road.
That's my biggest issue with One Piece, but it's getting better. Okay, guys.
Oh no.
Well, yeah,
no.
the comic series was way better than the animated series, I think.
Okay, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
But the comic series is so long. I get it why they had to cut out certain things and they couldn't add everything in there from seasons 1 to whatever. Are they on 3 right now or 2?
No.
I can't remember.
I think it's
3.
sort of
Three.
3. Yeah.
Gabe, length is not a issue for me. I'm reading a manga that's 1,100 chapters plus. So
Okay, well, have fun with that.
Like, how do you just quit your job and just like watch 3 comic books
I
all
was
day?
in college, man. I didn't have a job at the time, so I was like, just.
He's probably also sitting on a shit bucket right now too.
Superboy Prime right here. This one's good. I like this.
Dope, man.
What is this Superman again? I forgot.
Man Prime.
Oh, don't show Marcos this Superboy Prime because he's not smiling. You better watch out.
Oh Lord!
Hey, hold up. Have you guys noticed in the custom community there's more Superman smiling though? I say that's because of me. That's because of me. I really do think that.
Delusional.
Oh, Strife.
This,
Right? VHN is one of your newer ones, right?
this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Strife is great.
Fucking
I do like
awesome.
this.
Dude, again, another character that doesn't get enough love, man. Good job.
So good.
Bringing Strife
Even
back.
The portrait is
When your
spot on.
statue is good enough or your concept's good enough for people to want to know more about the character, that's you did a good job.
And what IP is this?
What?
What IP is this? Like, what is he from?
Seriously?
I don't know.
The X-Men fan again?
The X-Men fan, yeah.
I'm a big X-Men fan. I never said I was a big X-Men fan.
You did.
I'm a big
did.
Deadpool fan. There's a difference.
You flat out said, I don't know, I'm a pretty big X-Men fan, but I'm not really familiar with this character. Do I not sound like you? That's exactly what
never
you said.
happened. VHN, this is an absolute fake news. Don't
Oh, God. You guys are too much. A better
There you
version
go.
of Marcos, a better version of Cable, okay?
How do you not know who Strife is?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on here.
I'm not a big X-Men fan. I never said I was. I like Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and Deadpool. That's about it.
Totally
You're
serious.
not a basketball fan either, bro. I know. I
I'm
can
a
tell.
huge
Oh, shit.
different.
Oh, man.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired.
Why is everybody just picking on me, guys? Come on.
Yeah.
You bring it upon your- dude,
Always right, dude. It's like,
that little bro energy, dude. It's that little bro.
Shit. That's hilarious. I like this base, too. This is a good base. That's really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a cool piece.
Yeah.
So, like you said, most of your pieces are a little bit more museum. I can see that in your work. So that's cool.
Yeah, almost all of them.
There we are. Ghost Rider. Everybody's talking about.
Oh, Will, you showed us this on show one.
Yeah, we talked about this piece for quite a minute a few streams ago. Still a great piece. Haven't seen anything pop up yet in terms of somebody commissioning it. I know there's talks everywhere about it, but I haven't seen anything quite yet. So love to see it be made, though. I'm pretty sure as amazing this is, Aiden doesn't like it and he can find issues with it.
He's too on fire.
No.
There's too much
No.
Too much
He's
fire.
gonna
Start that shit. Don't
I don't
even
want
start that shit.
the chains don't chain very well.
Oh, they're just not the links aren't connected the right way.
Now
The spikes are too sharp.
Oh fuck.
This-
No Nick Cage portrait or something like that. You know.
Oh god, dude. No, this is great.
Nick Cage.
Oh, I'd pay good money for a Nick Cage portrait.
Oh yeah, Nick Cage portrait would be
He's
good.
leaning into it too much. So I don't know.
I think this pose is giving me like he's being exploded from the back and they're
Yeah, I
flying.
don't know.
He's leading with his crotch.
Yeah, a little too much crotchal action.
Oh no, I love it. I'm all on board.
This is-
No,
yeah,
and no fire crotch, right? That's. Oh, you showed us this too, Will.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this space is dope too. I like how he's kind of floating on the disc like that.
yeah.
He's
I love it.
Would you guys consider him a good guy? Right? He's a good guy. I know he's like Darkseid's son, but
Oh, I was thinking that was the Mexico version of Vision. My bad.
Ooh, let's go.
Oh my god! Live in a luchador vision.
Just so you know, I am.
He's like, come on, Dad, let me take on Superman, eh?
Oh my god!
Vato.
You know, I'm half Mexican, guys.
Okay, wait. First off,
I just made a comparison. I didn't do the awful racist accents.
I was gonna say I like how y'all's version of a Mexican is like literally East LA, like caricature.
Hey, I'm from California, so I could do that. All right.
I grew up with all those people too, man. Like my family is that person. So look, that looks like a Chicano right there. Honestly,
Jesus.
No, that.
Hey, Roger,
that looks like an ICE agent.
No, bro, that looks like Guy Pearce. That's who that portrait reminds me of. Guy Pearce.
Guy
the
Pearce.
actor. Yeah, Guy Pearce. Look him up. It looks just like that right there.
All right, let's do that right now then.
I swear to God.
Doesn't he look like one of those guys from Blood In and Blood Out? I think he's one of the actors.
Vatos Locos Forever.
Yeah. He's definitely from La Onda.
La Onda.
Dude, I could see that guy asking for chon chon right now, dude.
Yeah, you don't remember that. Papaya.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's dope. I love this beat. Well,
is that a Quicksilver?
Yeah.
This guy gets zero love in the community, and he's a dope character. He is.
I blame Flash.
But yeah, let's be real.
Yeah, it's 100% the Flash's fault and bad DC writers.
I would say though, the only thing that I've gotten tired of, and don't get me wrong, VHN, this is an amazing piece. I like Quicksilver. I think he's a cool character. Is that everybody that does a speedster puts a road or a street or something?
Yeah, me too. But sometimes I just can't do my own stuff because I got to listen to the commissioner.
No, I got you. I'm just saying in general, it's like, why does everybody does Sentinels on X-Men? Why don't they have other villains they can step on top of?
I got so tired of that.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
Guys.
Have him running through a children's playground next time.
On a little spinning wheel.
Oh my God!
Just running on it.
Oh, it's gay too.
Well, hey, let's face it though. Some commissioners should not be art directing. They should be silent investors. I just want to put that out there.
Like
I'm on my third rum and
Aiden
coke
himself
now,
should be a silent,
I like this one right here, the hand. That's awesome.
Next time he disappears off screen, we're gonna take a screenshot of the silent investor.
This is an amazing piece. I love the way the water flows, and you're right. The hand is fucking awesome. I love the way the hand looks on that.
That's a good idea for a dragon.
Really, a green dragon?
Maybe. Might be on fire. I don't know.
There we go. There's Wolverine's crazy cycle sun right there. I love this piece too. It looks really good.
That character doesn't need any love.
Yeah, I was actually surprised.
Hey, I'm just thankful that VHN didn't put a sentinel under his feet. That's all.
That's cool.
It's on the underside of the base.
Gabe, is this the Damian Wayne of X-Men characters right here?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Goddamn.
It's the emo version.
The emo version of Damian Wayne.
Actually, I think Sabretooth recently killed him, so whatever.
Oh, thank God. He finally did something good.
Comics. No one's dead in comics.
That's true.
He's dead for right now, and it was the way he killed him. Okay, so there's this thing. Sabretooth does this thing where every birthday he kills somebody he loves. That's his whole thing. So on his last birthday, he literally spelled "Happy Birthday" out in body parts of
parts. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that would kill him. You just kind of put him back together like Deadpool. So
the way you get Deadpool,
probably still alive.
Cut Deadpool's head off or Wolverine's head off and put him in a different area.
Okay,
that's how you get him.
One comic writer said you could actually choke out Wolverine because if he loses air, he dies too. And I was like, oh, okay.
What?
Huh. Well, VHN, man, awesome work, dude. Really, really awesome work. Your stylization, the way you can do like Gabe said, the flames, the water, it looks all realistic. Can't wait to see what you can do with wind. I know a lot of people, a lot of sculptors, and even the Prime 1 people can't seem to do smoke and wind that very good. You know what I mean? It's very, very rare to see like a good explosion with the coloring and the shapes to look like an explosion cloud. So I would really like to see how you can implement wind. So that would be a next step for you. If I didn't see any, but I think it'd be cool. Like if you did a storm, for example, right? Like XM Storm, and if you can get that wind looking like wind, and the artist, in terms of the painter, can really nail the paint, oh man, it's going to be an epic piece for sure.
Well, maybe if there will be some kind of order with the wind stuff, I'll definitely try to do that.
Yeah, it'll be a great take on that. Aiden, you have any questions for VHN? Anything more you want to bring up? I want to give Gabe and Roger a little bit of time on the panel as well.
No, I mean we covered everything. I just want to say, man, I appreciate you guys. I want to say something. You know, myself, I've been supporting artists since I started this hobby, and you guys know I'm an artist. I've been doing this for a long time, 2D artist. I appreciate you guys. I really, when in VHN, Roger, we talk a lot, and you guys know how I feel about it's a passion, and you guys like you really bring a lot to the community, and I appreciate what you guys do. And William and I, Gabriel, Marcos, we're very picky on what we're looking for, and you guys really bring a lot to the community, and we really appreciate that. So just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Nice. Roger, now, I know you got some stuff in the works. You're doing some special projects. You got subcontracted by some big people there. Can you talk a little bit about it? How's it going? Is there any sneak peek we could look at maybe or not?
Yeah. Okay. So, I haven't been able to. I haven't been working on any commissions or any type of like other like personal projects and stuff. I've pretty much. You guys all know that I work in the gaming industry during the day, and then but characters are my jam. So I'm always working on characters like nonstop. So even when I stop work, I go straight into working on my own stuff or either working on commissions. Right. So. That said, though, I took a break because a company reached out to me to do create a course. So creating a course that's going to be on an e-learning website and basically just teaching. There were certain aspects about. I asked them, I was like, what about the work that I do that would stand out? You think or would be ideal for e-learning consumption? And some of it was stylized work or more fantasy style or like anime work, things like that. So I'm doing a course on adapting a concept, basically taking a fantasy like lore type of concept and adapting that 1-to-1 to Unreal. So for like look dev purposes and but they have a lot of courses on this website. It's called Colosso. I don't know if you heard it. Probably some. I get now that I looked it up, I get nothing but ads for Colosso, but it's basically Colosso Global. It's based out of South Korea, and they've contracted a lot of really great artists. At first, I was hesitant because I've been asked to do a couple of courses before, and it didn't timing wise, or I didn't really like the form that they were on really gel. But this one, I saw there were a lot of artists that even I follow and I look for concepts on, and so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. But like the idea of doing like the whole curriculum and coming up with all the whole breakdown of like how to take the concept. That's the concept, by the way. I'm taking Eric Note is his name. I think he's based out of Korea as well. And I'm taking that concept and making it 1-to-1 to like 3D. So basically he's going through the block out phase, breaking down the concept, understanding why we pick certain concepts to work on. It's fun for me because I don't get to work like VHN. I don't work with a lot of concepts when it comes to my personal stuff. A lot of times I kind of just take an idea or a character and try to just come up with something that, and it's kind of fun and rewarding to do that. But when you do have a concept, sure, it does help expedite the process that much more than having to, formulate and having to ideate and problem solve how things are going to take up, spatially, how things are going to work out. So having a concept is great to work with, but I also wanted to pick a concept that didn't have an orthographic view and all the different angles, just only a perspective view, so that we can kind of show what it's like to go through the creative process of not just adapting the concept, but using your own creativity to adapt the rest of it in areas you might not see. So like taking what we see in the concept and iterating on that, like taking what shape language and what context clues we see in other parts of his work, and also referencing some of his other work as well, to maybe adding details in other places that, you know, we might not have, you know, access to visually. So I'm working on it right now, and I'm recording the whole process, talking about it. I'm almost done with the high res model. I probably shouldn't share, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to present, share screen.
Damn, I just saw my logotype, and I really hope I'm not gonna mess with it ever again.
Oh. All right, can you see my screen?
Hold on there. Real quick, let me find your screen here. I got a lot of screens open. Oh, there we go.
Cool.
Okay. I'm not sure why it's not adding. Hold on.
We have 6 people, I think, right?
Oh no. To present, it should be okay.
Okay.
Oh, remove media from stream from the stage. So I got too much media open. So maybe Gabe, we could pull some of the media out just so I can open it, or maybe one of them.
Yeah.
If not, I'm working on it. It's cool. Ship it.
Here we go. Nope, still giving me the same.
Honestly, it's probably like not PG-13 if it's Roger too. So like, let's be real. Like, we have young viewers, you know.
Better?
Yeah, you know.
All right, there we go. Here we go. Got it.
All right.
What did I say?
So basically, you get like a pure ref file. I'm showing everybody and showing the students and stuff like that. Have a pure ref file and have like all your concepts and stuff to work with. You know, this is some of his other work. So looking at how he designs armor, you know, what are things about his armor that stand out that he uses frequently, and adapting this. So, you know, I still have to do the hair and the fur and all that stuff. I'm going to be doing using XGen. And I'm going to sculpt the hair, but for the fur and all that, I'm going to use XGen, which is like a fur simulation. So I'll be doing that. So I'm trying to show students the full spectrum, like how to do organic, hard surface modeling, ornamenting, how to create certain types of brushes, how to create custom brushes to make some of this stuff, weapons, cloth simulation, fur.
You plan to animate her?
What was that?
You plan to animate her further?
I animate and I rig. But since we're just trying to capture the pose itself and just do a one-to-one look dev of the concept and stuff, I'm not going to show that the animation part. Plus, if I did the animation part, it would blow up the scope of what the course is going to be by adding almost like, because then I'd have to go into like showing how to rig, and that's another discipline altogether, right? Or at least I'd like to. If I'm going to show somebody some of it, then I got to show everybody all of it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, like if you're not planning to do that, then why use XGen? Why you don't use just fiber mesh stuff?
You know, I like my results out of XGen more. I always have. I've used fiber mesh a couple of times, but I like taking the XGen Alembic cache file and taking that into Unreal, and I can get a one-to-one of that Alembic cache fur file and use Unreal's hair material and hair shader. And yeah, I like it. I used it for Madeline Pryor, the version I did for Unreal, and after that, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to use from now on. Like the results were too good for me to like not use continually in my workflow and pipeline. I still do hair cards though too. Like if it's going to go straight to gaming, well, that's a different pipeline altogether. So I'll do the hair cards for that, and that's more consumable for gaming. But for doing like look dev. And like I said, adapting the concept one-to-one, this was the best route and probably the quickest one for me to go to. So, can you still see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
So I'll move this over. Well, yeah, I'll move this over here. You've already seen the concept. So, right now I just have blocky and fur, just for me to get myself some volumes of how things are going to look and how big they're going to be. But I literally just finished like earlier today, kind of doing the ornamenting and stuff over here. So that's done. This stuff over here is finished. I have to like kind of go in here and do my own thing for the legs because we really don't see what's going on. So kind of like I said, kind of using some shape language that we kind of see in other areas and adapting it down here at the bottom. Adding some more like, ornamenting over here, getting all these pieces, adding some back and shoulder plates too. I still have to go in and I got to add all the little rivets and bolts, things like that, and all the jewels. But that's going to be a separate chapter altogether because I'm going to show students how to make an IMM brush, which is basically like what if I made a brush that literally just painted that strand of jewels instead of having to place each one. You create a brush that just creates, like they do it for stitching too. It's called a curve brush, curve IMM brush. And so I'm going to create that, and show people how to do that. Again, little details like that. Once I'm done, like I said, I should be done with the high poly model by like tomorrow. I'll then do the low poly textures, all that stuff in Substance Painter, and then get it into Unreal. Nice. Probably got another. Yeah,
Roger. What can you explain to the average viewer? What is high poly and low poly? What does that mean in layman's terms?
Oh, okay. So, example. So if I'm doing sculpting for printing, I'll do a high poly model, and I'll end up decimating that model, which is just basically dumbing down the model to reduce the poly count. Because right now the poly count on just her skin alone is 27 mil, right? I can get that down to like probably maybe 800K and still retain most of the fidelity of porosity and things like that. But you use a plugin for ZBrush called Decimation Master, and it basically, just like I said, it takes all the information that it sees and adapts a lower resolution model. You can choose the percentage. You can dumb it down sometimes too far, and the thing will look like a Lego character. It'll be really like super broken as far as geometry wise. You'll see every corner and every poly. But you can also get it to a point to where it's consumable for printing. That said, though, for the purposes of going to Unreal and or game dev or cinematics, I typically will make another version of the file. So I basically create a low version poly cage over the entire mesh, and you bake surfaces. That's basically taking the high resolution information and using a thing called a normal map, which is like, it basically tricks light into thinking that this geometry here is there when it's not. Like, it takes information of the high res and all the curvature and all of the relief information, like let's say pores or let's say stitching, and it creates a texture for that to go on the model as opposed to the geometry. So I can have, let's say this model overall right now is 140 million polys. I can make a version of this is probably going to be 500K. That's consumable for this version, let's say, of video games. Even like you can make a mill for like a hero character, 1 million polys for a hero character. So I'm going to basically create a version of this file that's smaller in information, but still has the same visual fidelity, and that's a low poly model. And that'll be what gets depicted or used in Unreal. And I'll create some lighting and some cool particle effects to go along with it to kind of create a cool little cinematic turnaround or turntable.
So kind of like your Madeline. Let me pop that up.
Yeah. I'll stop presenting to you. I'm done sharing. So yeah.
So people can see this is his Madeline Pryor. He does that little turning table, just so everybody has an understanding of his final work. Obviously, this is all looks like high poly, but an amazing piece.
Bathroom breaks.
What's that?
That's a lot of bathroom breaks.
I gotta go to the bathroom right now.
A lot of breaks for Marcos right there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So
great piece. Honestly, Roger, it's actually a great piece, man. Seriously.
Dude, thank you. Appreciate that.
And for the Easter eggs in it too, with the visor and the helmets. So
yeah. That's why I really wanted to add more to look at than just her. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's aesthetic enough, right? But like, what else can I do to make this like the piece you want if you're a Madeline Pryor fan, like to make it the piece? So, oh yeah, and also there's another Easter egg too. If you look at her crown in the middle, it's got Sinister's diamond in the middle of her crown.
Oh, that's kind of
Easter eggs.
For those that are interested in that Madeline Pryor, check out Roger's page, So Much 3D on Facebook. He's got a lot of images there, a lot of stuff going on. I think this piece might be produced, so anybody interested, hit me up, and I'll guide you to the right direction. So I can't wait. I hope it does get produced, so I can do a live unboxing on her, because she's gonna. And if Mark was talking about bathroom break sculpting, wait till I have her in here. In person. You know what I'm saying?
It shows that It's been a 4-hour unboxing. It really will be.
4 hour.
The first 4 hour unboxing we do. Yeah, okay.
All of us are just gonna do this for a while. Look, we're just gonna do this for a while, just right there. And
Yeah, are you gonna leave the audio on? You're just gonna leave the audio on and just leave it like that.
Yeah, all I gotta say is this is a great piece. Just great. Just great. As the turntable starts to go 180, great piece. Great.
Right there. Love that. Angel.
We're always like sweating profusely after we turn it back on, like for some reason.
I mean, he already does. Just the like already. So
in general, I'm already sweating, so it's just gonna be pouring. Like that scene. I don't know, SNL where Chris Farley's on the bike and he's pedaling really fast, and Adam Sandler's yelling at him to pedal, and it's just pouring water.
The fact that you put yourself as Chris Farley in this situation,
wild, dude.
very humble of you. Very humble of you.
That's wild, dude.
I love Chris Farley, but Roger, thanks for sharing, man. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah. Like I said, it should be the course is already live now to pre-order, but the course itself is live. I believe the first week of July. Nice. So yeah, if you get in now, pre-orders and stuff, it's actually there's a discount and stuff if you get the course now. So.
Yeah, check out So Much 3D. All that information on the course. I know I popped it up on the screen, but just give them the love. Like, subscribe, VHN. Roger, just help those guys out on their page.
Dude, thank you for giving me a forum to speak on it to share the stuff. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. We absolutely love your work. Now, Gabe, I'm gonna give you the floor, man. You're a Mortal Kombat guy. I know you said you've got or have seen a lot of good pieces coming out there. Let me know which one you want to share. We could talk about the piece, and maybe you have contacts to where we can get the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like when we were forming our group for like Mortal Kombat, and it's expounded some on some other video games. Like I'm really just trying to like inspire other people to be like, hey, let's create stuff or whatever. Or like, what can you do? I mean, like, and a lot of people have been really good in our groups, developing content and all that, and just like it's kind of blown up, which has been really fun to like kind of watch and like see people's reactions and stuff. And we can actually lead off with that katana right there if you want to do that. And we'll talk a little bit about that.
I love MK. I'm a fan of MK.
Okay, I think she's the first one here. Let's go ahead and add her up.
Yeah. I also sent you a message on Instagram, by the way, too.
No, that's nice.
Very nice.
So now I'm also a big critique of other MK sculpts. So this sculpt's actually been done a couple different times by other people, and there's certain corners that they'll take and cut, and I'm like, man, it's not a complete piece to me. Like it's a good piece, and I'm grateful you made it. But like I challenged my other people in my group and be like, hey, can somebody do it better? And there was one person that could. Like, for instance, her drape that covers up all the lady parts. That piece in most other statues is actually cut on the sides and then it's inserted. Well, then you have that gap like in between there, and it just doesn't look like a complete piece. Well, this person found a way to do it and make that piece whole, so it has a very good flow around the backside. And unfortunately, I don't have a picture of that, but I don't know what y'all's policy is on,
Oh, no, you can show everything over here, bud. We want to see the backside.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I can find one then. So, but we're also trying to capture that like elegance, and I always use this term like flow. And I don't know, I'm sure you're familiar with the Nick Cage movie and meme where he's getting off Con Air bus and you see the wind blowing in his hair and all that kind of stuff. I have a meme with my face swapped on that. So anytime I'm talking to somebody, they're like, I know what he's going to say next. He's going to drop that stupid ass meme with his face on it. And I was like, yeah, I'm absolutely going to do that.
There we go.
Because it's all about the flow. So next stream, I'll have that on there available for you guys to look at. But also, I mean, this community also likes like swap outs. So, I mean, like an unmasked version and a masked version. They also really love to have bust stands because it's kind of nice to show off everything that you created, which I totally agree with. Like, I actually like having the bust stand because it's like having two statues in a way.
Right.
And you can have that one like displayed on your computer stand or whatever, or in the bathroom. So,
Right.
Hey, you hear that, baby oil, Marcos?
Baby oil. I'm not. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
What? Marcos is going to start the white parties again? Is that what he's going to do?
Our resident Diddy.
Resident Diddy. Hey, LeBron with the Diddy parties. I have to follow it. That's all it is now.
And other parts of that, we really like to find a balance. So it's not a full museum pose, but it's not, a fully dynamic one. It's kind of like in between kind of ground. So she has like a walking elegance to her with her fans flowing and all that, and then you got the hair in the wind. Those flames actually light up on the base too, so that's kind of cool. So
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next one.
And
you
those,
can speak to the next one.
on the base, is that because the photo's real small? Is those are drapes on the bottom of that base too? Is that fabric? Is supposed to be fabric?
So I mean, that's another thing that I like to give my hints at when people are designing stuff. I'm like, hey, let's do some Easter eggs in the base itself, or make the base tell a story. Like I really like to incorporate the Mortal Kombat stages in the base because I think that's fun.
Right.
This one isn't particularly a stage, but if you played the most recent MK game, there's an Adenia throne room. And it's actually purple drapes because Sindel's in charge and then Melina, but we're not going to talk about that because that game is not well received. But I was like, hey, let's do a twist on it. Let's do Kitana stuff, you know? And the person was like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So we have like some banners of the Adenia symbols and all that. And you have like royalty because that's kind of what they're expressing there. So it helps a really nice flow to it. And I was actually surprised that they could sculpt the grass on the bottom because I was like, man, I don't know if that's a good idea, but it fits the piece really well. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I mean, I would assume grass is really hard to sculpt, so that looks good.
No, it's the easiest thing, I think.
Is it easy? Because I've seen some grass that look like Minecraft grass. So I'm like, yeah, that's not real grass.
My concern was making it into an actual statue and like breaking. So I was just like, those are little pieces, you know, that would be very sad to get something like that. So, but that person says it's all intact. So I was like, okay, because that's an actual statue we're looking at right now.
Right.
Hey, Gabriel. So what artist did this? I wanted to give a shout out to the artist that sculpted this as well.
Yeah. I believe it was Nick Hanzo. So he's a Russian sculptor and he's very good as well.
Yeah. Nick's a good sculptor.
Yeah. Actually, most of these I believe are his, if I'm not mistaken.
What's the next one you like? See, I like this other one with the blood. I think this is.
Let's just keep going with the ladies then.
All right, let's do the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
There she is.
Does anybody know who this is?
Scarlet. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you do love Mortal Kombat. I like it. So this is an underdeveloped character. Like there's only been one statue made of her, and it was never actually developed or in mass production because the company like fell apart and stuff like that, and they actually ended up scamming a lot of people. Which like I felt so sad in that area, and then somebody brought it up in our group chat and was like, "Hey, we should." Like commission a Scarlet, and I was like, go ahead, have fun, you know, and I'll help you like design it and give it good ideas. And like her background is like she does blood magic and stuff like that. So like if her skin touches you, it's pretty much game over. She's going to drain you of everything. So, you know, and that might be a good relief for some people in here. Who knows? Depends on where she touches you. I get first. But I love the way the blood flows around her and it's forming that blood ball. That's one of her attacks in there. And again, we also have they did kind of we don't really know what she looks like unmasked in the MK9 video game. We do in MK11, but that's a whole different story. We're not talking about that. This is MK9 focusing on this one, which is by far my favorite game, by the way, just in case you're curious. MKX is a good close one though. So we kind of just designed that and we're like, oh yeah, let's do like a face that's, you know, like looks like a natural redhead or something. So Hanzo is actually really good at like, you give him an idea and he'll just kind of run with it from what I'm told. And that was his interpretation of how she would look under her mask. And of course, we got the swap out mask and the bust stain. And the base is actually from the bottom of the pit level. So, you know, when you uppercut them and then they fall down and land on all those spikes. Well, in MK9, this is the base because you can see blood coming out of these gargoyle heads right here that actually fills in rivers on the side of the level as well. So, and then there's spikes and all that and impaled people and just lots and lots of blood. Everything you expect from an MK game. Yeah,
that's dope. I only see 2 females. Was it just 2 females you had?
I mean, we can put more in there if you want. So these guys really love the ladies. So
yeah, oh yeah. Well, if Mr. Allen Keeper's on here, he just wants to see ladies.
All right, we'll give you one more because I'm pretty sure this is the most popular one. Give me 2 seconds and I'll drop it in there. Or I say 2 seconds. This isn't like super user friendly.
Hey, Roger and VHN, what do you guys feedback on this? Like again, as artists and stuff, what do you guys think about it?
I think I know that guy. Who's called?
I don't know why my computer keeps kicking me out.
But the masked the masked versions are awesome. Kitana and the Scarlet also. I don't know about the unmasked one, but the masked one are awesome.
The unmasked one would be artist interpretation, so we take a little bit of liberty there.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the first time I've seen Melina without her mask, and she's not terrifying. She's actually like, I'd let that bite me. That's cool. like,
where would you let it bite you at?
Whoa. So, yeah, no, I'm a sucker for Mortal Kombat. Like the ladies too. Like I don't know, through the years they've become even more awesome. I don't know how they did that as far as design goes. I like that they've added enough character into each one, despite making them museum poses or like walking museum poses. To say that, like they've added enough personality and character, all of them. And the bases are cool. The last one I really like because I like the pulling of the blood out of the ground and stuff with a swirl that adds an extra level of dynamic, feel to it. It makes the piece feel more kinetic. So yeah, I'm a fan. Very cool.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to tell that person that then. So, or maybe they're watching right now. I don't know. So
hey, I like your shit. Good job.
Yeah, this base is part of the level as well. Is it part of her level?
Yeah, so that's the top of the pit. So we had the bottom of the pit with the blood worker, and then this Melina one was actually the first one that our group did as a collaboration project. And they all voted like, let's do Melina first. And it's like your thing, go ahead. So we kind of helped and like put a bunch of different ideas together and be like, what's the most badass pose you could think of? Somebody that's just straight up going to murder you. And then we're like, well, how about a walking pose? And she's just holding her size like that. And I was like, that's a good idea. I like that. So played around with it a lot. And the unmasked version is actually a concept art. Like it was a user on IG that kind of created his own design. And we're like, that's awesome. Let's put that on a statue. I think that would be a good idea. And so that person made it and they kept taking it off and it did really well. So, and I personally like it myself.
Yeah, that's a good pose for sure.
And the size are metal as well. So just in case and the
nice.
Actually down there. So
nice. Yeah, that's
one person's already cut themselves on it because they were trying to put it in wrong or putting it in something else. I didn't ask a lot of questions and I didn't want to know.
Yeah, we don't want to know where they're putting anything.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'll be right back.
All right, Marcos.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, Marcos, we miss you already.
You just turn your camera off. I mean, we'll hear noises, but that's about it.
This piece is super sexy though, man. It's awesome.
So that's why he's leaving, and he'll be right back. Give him about 5.
I'm leaving right now with the be right back.
God damn.
Do you want the backside of that version so you can finish?
Jesus.
We can only hope. So.
Oh no, I've got it right here.
Finish him. Flawless victory.
Here we go. We'll go ahead and remove some out so we can.
Here it is.
All right.
Oh,
there you go.
Mr. Alan Kiefer, if you're watching, I hope you're excited about this piece.
Yeah, good friend Alan Kiefer. He's one of us.
Yeah, that's a nice peach.
Great guy for sure.
It's a very nice peach. She never misses leg day. So.
Oh yeah. That's some great sculpting.
I would literally pose it like this, like out in my display. If I had this piece just like this, that's what I would do. Okay.
I've seen the photos. Some people do that, or they buy a really nice cake turntable like you have right there, and they just spins around constantly. So.
Lady Susan up.
Yeah.
That's what Madeline Pryor needs right here, Roger, for your absolute cake in the back,
Hey, get the statue.
And no cape.
No cake.
Okay.
What if I didn't have, I have right now a bust for the head, like what if I just had, it was just the cake, the cake bust.
The cake.
Only, huh?
It's an interesting concept.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
There's no swap out. It's just there. Just for you to have.
Let's
real quick though. What character would you want done in statue form from a licensed company that doesn't get love at all, like in licensed statues at all from Mortal Kombat?
From Mortal Kombat, probably Nitara. She doesn't get a lot of love. Very sexy female, but there's probably a reason why nobody can actually do it, and that goes into companies' decisions for MK. But Nitara would definitely be one of them. I would love to see Shiva a Shiva as well. Like that forearm bitch will fuck you up. So, and I'm all for it. So I love me some muscle mommies.
Whoa.
And then Frost. That would be my final one. So those three ladies right there.
You know who would sculpt that character with the 4 arms is the VHN. He could do muscles really good. So
I agree.
I think he would kill that. That's one on your list right there, VHN, man. You just got to check mark it, brother. You just mark it on there. So let's let me open the next image here that Gabe's posted. Let's take a look.
Let's see who's by now. So
I know.
I want to see if your camera turns
like
off.
I love it.
All right, who knows who this is?
Well, man, it's new, right?
But I saw that sculpt recently.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. So, and again with this one, I mean, it tells a lot of the story about it. Like, somebody was a concept artist in our group, so they kind of just like threw this idea together, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then it kind of caught fire to that, and like more people were commenting on it, like, hey, let's do this one. And I was like, okay, have at it. So, and I helped with like some of the consulting on it because I know a lot of the background story. The base tells a really cool story, which I particularly enjoy. So this comic is the costumes from MK9. And there's different elements of this that all tie back to a stage, which is the graveyard stage that has a Soul NATO in the background that Quan Chi is like spun up. It's like this big green pile of souls that's like collecting from the city. So I was like, we're putting that on the base somehow. We'll figure it out. So so we have these green souls running across. If you zoom in, you can actually see faces.
I was gonna say those faces in there, huh?
Yeah, there's another image that shows it better. This is a light up form right here. We thought it was neat. And then in the background, there's a tombstone. And Noob Sabat is a dead man that was reincarnated. His name was Bihan, who is the original
Sub-Zero.
Thank you. Yes, he is. That is correct. So, but there's also elements of that in there too in the base. In fact, I believe the next 2 photos kind of show more about the base and tell the story. But there's also like somebody trying to pull out from the grave, which is, the old Bihan trying to escape death, even though he didn't, because he got burned alive. Because, he went to the nether realm and didn't come back. But there's also elements of other games in here too, like Noob Sabat uses a scythe in MK11. And I was like, that's kind of a cool idea. And what most of the users agree is like, well, let's just add that in there, like as an homage to his character and like how he's progressed over the MK timeline. So we threw that in there. And then I think you can see the faces better on the souls here. Maybe it's a different render for that one, but I can see one of them, but I know what to look for. I've stared at this like a million times.
Didn't PCS come with a piece with this character, right? PCS.
They did an MK11 version.
Yeah.
So, and I like that one too. I thought that was really cool the way they had him jumping out of the background.
Right? Like I believe I haven't seen it in a while, but I think it had 2 characters in that piece, right?
It did. So Noob Sabat was in the front, and then over him was his shadow.
Gotcha.
So, and this is just another angle of behind the tombstone there, of the old Sub-Zero trying to escape death.
If I'm not mistaken, it's Fabian sculpt, right?
That sounds right. So I'd have to ask the person if they're in the chat. They would just go ahead and pop it in there.
Fabian Cardoso.
Fabian sounds correct though. So
yeah, it's great. It's great. He's a great sculptor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do we want to do the final one?
Yeah, we can keep going.
Do you want to mute that because there is audio in the background that's like really annoying, or can you not mute it?
Yeah. I mean, there you go.
There we go.
There it is.
Dang.
I would say this is the sculpt that the group spent the most time on arguing and bitching about and all that, but I'm really glad for it because it was a long, drawn-out process. I do know the sculptor's name on this one. This is Danny Boy. He did a phenomenal job, but they kept adding pieces in there. Like they were like, if we're going to do a Sub-Zero, we're going to do a damn good one. I was like, okay. So, I mean, this piece only tells a little bit of the story. In fact, if you want, I can grab more pictures of it, but this is what somebody's done, and this is an actual statue you're looking at. But he has 3 swap out portraits. He has like 4 swap out hands. Like you got to have the spine rip, the ice ball, and he actually can hold an ice sword too. And then 2 normal hands that you're seeing right there. The logos in the center actually swap out too. So you have the Lin Kuei logo as opposed to the MK Dragon logo. That sword, I believe, swaps out from the skull. And there's also like cool light up features too, if I'm not mistaken, with it.
Nice.
So we have a lot of Sub-Zero fans in our group, which is fine. I'm totally about it, but I think he gets a lot of love. Him and Scorpion are just done to death. So
There's
I'm like,
so many
come on, let's
versions
do
of him.
Yeah, let's do a reptile.
Yes.
I'm getting there,
Dude,
or a Kano for that matter. I mean,
well,
Kano's
Reptile,
good too. So
Reptile and Smoke. I want to see both of those guys.
I don't think anybody's ever asked for Striker, right?
yeah, that's true.
No, and nor does he deserve a statue. I'm just saying. I'm trying to think of characters that will never get representation.
I would like Cabal to have a statue too. I think he would be fun.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you got to have a with and without the mask too, right? You got to have that.
Oh yeah, that would be. I thought of an idea for that too, without his mask, but I can't remember what it was now. I don't want to do his video game look because it's kind of cheesy.
It's hilarious though.
It is hilarious, but it wouldn't fit with the realism ideas that they're trying to capture in there. So.
That's good work. Yeah, dude, Danny Boy Sanchez. He's the one that just put out that cable not too long ago, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah. I'm a big Cyclops fan. I told him he needs to do a summer Psych next.
Yeah, he does great work.
Yeah. Well, for anybody watching the stream or going to watch the stream later, thank you for doing that. If you're interested in Mortal Kombat, Gabe here's got just all the contacts for Mortal Kombat stuff. So that would be really awesome to see other characters. I love the fact that this community you have in Mortal Kombat kind of come together, throw out those ideas, and somebody in there decides to sculpt it and put it for production and things like that. I'm a big fan of customs. I got a lot of customs, but I like that togetherness with the community. We see a lot of this back and forward and this backlash with this group or that group and all this stuff, and we should really just join together and enjoy the community instead of having a bunch of drama like if it was high school. So I love seeing that this group you're in. They really work together and come up with one of the best concepts for Mortal Kombat so far that I've seen. No, I like I mentioned in the before the stream started, I've only played Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and like X last week. So I'm not, really, really big in the IP of Mortal Kombat. But I do know most of the characters, and I mean, I'm down for the females. I'll tell you that right now. I'll put the waifus over here somewhere. I'll make some room. But
I'm sure we have a Sindel in the works if that's your thing. So
you can share this image I'm throwing up to as a second screen. Yeah. As we are into the model.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. That's dope right there too. There it is.
Yeah,
oh, very nice.
That was my very very old scoop, of classic MK3 reptile. So.
Well, you nailed the costume right. I'll go ahead and give you that right now because I know immediately.
Love the reference to the level 2 in the background. It's cool.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody who has made a reptile that is not video game accurate, and a lot of people let them know that. So not me personally, but I mean I love almost anything Mortal Kombat. So, but that's a great capture. I love it, man. So good.
Hey, would you like a Aaron Black statue?
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Yeah, because he has all the guns and
he has the guns, the cowboy hats. Man, I'm from Texas. We love that stuff.
Yeah, where from Texas are you from?
Yeah, we're in Texas.
Devora. I would love to make that too. Oh, that would be so awesome if somebody our group would just like go ahead and start working on that. So.
I would love to sculpt Shinnok.
Shinnok?
Oh, dude, yeah, Shinnok. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Which version of Shinnok?
Maybe from MK4.
Okay.
Wow.
That's the classic one. I mean, that's the introduction right there. So that's a good one.
It's funny.
Actually, that's not the introduction of him. He was actually first in
Sub-Zero, the game, right?
Mythologies. So, yeah.
The Sub-Zero game.
Still though, good pick.
So we got 3 Texans here. You all 3 of you from Texas, huh?
What part?
Go Cowboys.
E-Man, what's up, E-Man?
From Tyler, Texas.
Tyler, Texas. There we go. My brother played JUCO ball at TJC.
Yeah, I don't care.
College,
He said I don't care.
Goddamn.
You invited me on here, okay? I didn't ask to be on here. 4th rum and coke, I'm on now.
Yeah.
This is going to get weird.
He's like, oh yeah, that's nice, Marcus. I don't care. But yeah, no, pretty dope. I'd actually like to see a really good Sonya. Maybe even a classic.
So would you want an MK3 classic, which is there's a very famous actress that plays that, and she's just known for that role. In fact, she looks amazing right now. So, or you could do MK1 if you really wanted to go a definitely questionable pole dancer route. You go MK9. So
I'd probably go 1 or 3 because I obviously the original game, all 3 of them were really great, and then based off the movie, because I like the movie portraits as well, so I would like to have the gaming and the movie portrait. That's just my preference. But I'm very nostalgic. I like the classic stuff, so a nice classic.
Oh yeah.
Since it's made by the same company, are you big into the Injustice like game at all, or no? Because I know it's basically Mortal Kombat with DC characters, obviously without the blood.
Yeah, because it rotates out from NetherRealm Studios. So I mean, you thought you were getting Injustice 3, and then it turned out to be MK1, and then that game died. But yeah, I like the Injustice games. I actually liked it when you could play as the Ninja Turtles. I thought it was pretty cool. So in the last one,
dude, I was the worst. Like, I was the most toxic character with Deathstroke. Like, I literally was the gun guy, just doing pistols and machine guns.
Yeah,
I was that guy. So like Aaron Black too, I was doing the same shit, just long range.
Yeah, his sand move too is dirty, where he just throws it like it's a very weird block frame that it covers. So, and not many people know how to counter it. I actually play it for the story, believe it or not. Like, I love a good story. So that's what always attracted me to MK. I mean, yeah, the fatalities were awesome, but like once Mortal Kombat 9 hit, and like they had a more in-depth story, I was like, oh, I'm hooked. And then they made MK1, and I'm like, fuckers. So I mean, yeah, that's great. Good job. So
cool. Well,
it has mixed reviews. So
well, we have hit the 2-hour mark, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. I want to thank the panel for joining us. Gabe, thank you very much for all this insight and all these new Mortal Kombat pieces that are coming out, that are out. So really appreciate you coming out on a panel. Super exciting. Roger, So Much 3D, always a pleasure to have you on board, brother. Anytime you're available, you want to join, you want to give Marcos a hard time, let's do it, man. We'll jump up.
That's how it is, man.
Sounds like a blast. And thank you for always inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for the invite.
And man, great work as well, dude. Like the stuff, you're like at the top of the list right now with custom and just sculpting, in my opinion, with these museum poses. You're doing an excellent job. Like I said, I can't wait to see what kind of wind effect you do. Like, we've seen water, we've seen fire. We just need all the elements. You know, you got to put out all the elements. And yeah, man,
actually,
thank you very much.
Fujin is a Mortal Kombat character, and he's air. So
there you go. There you go. If someone heard that, they want to commission it, hit up VHS commission right there, so we can get them.
We can get them work. Earth. So if you need to do that one.
Yeah. No, we need the 5th element here. Okay, we need all the elements. Okay, we just.
All right, I got you. Roger that. I'm on it.
We appreciate you here, man. I really appreciate the love of you coming on the stream. If you ever care to join, you're more than welcome to. Have a blast with us. And also, Aiden, A+ Collectibles, thank you again for joining. I mean, I can only see a beard. That's it. Everything's just kind of floating black. Oh, there it is. Oh, there, I see some hands too.
That's what we want to see, though. We don't want to see that ugly mug of his. We don't want to see that, you know.
So appreciate it. Thank you, Aiden, for coming in. And my boy Marcos, always a blast having you on the stream. Let's just go over here on the chat. Let's see who was here. Yeah, thank you, John from the Everyday Collectors. Battle Cat was in the house. Limit Collectibles. Mr. Alan Kiefer, man, always a pleasure to have Mr. Alan Kiefer.
Good guy.
DB Madness. We also had Jimmy from Godlike Studios. Michael Reyes, my boy, my Northern California buddy. Mr. Kennedy. Slipper was in the house. Let's see. Let me go through here a little bit more. Stanley showed up. April Dunning, thank you for joining. Let's keep going. Cypher, always a pleasure to have Cypher here as well. Let's keep. I don't want to miss anybody. So, and X-Men exclusive, thank you very much. XM, I don't know if this popped up, but I do agree with him right here. Real quick, I'm gonna post it. VHN, that was for you.
Don't do it.
Do it. But yeah, thank you everybody.
Further yourself and better yourself. Don't go back. You gotta always move forward.
Yeah, don't go back to Forge, right?
Jacob Roop was in the house. E-Man was in the house as well. Thank you everybody again for tuning in. Thank you for those that are watching. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. It will really help the channel. Check out the links below for Roger and VHN. Also, 500 subscriber giveaway statue, 1/10 scale Thor, and a $25 gift card during that that raffle off. So thank you again, everybody, for tuning into ASV Collectibles, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks.
Don't
everybody.
watch One